Hello students of class 9. So today I am going to start a new topic of quadrilateral. Already in the last lecture I have discussed the exercise 8.1. So here I am going to discuss the next theorem, that is very important theorem, midpoint theorem. So let us start. So what is the statement of midpoint theorem? You can see in the book. The statement is the line segment joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side. Okay, so here is a triangle, and this is a triangle. I have named the triangle ABC, where E and F are the midpoints of AB and AC respectively. Okay, so this is the given condition, and what we have to prove? We have to prove that the line segment joining the midpoints, okay, that means EF, this will be parallel to what? This will be parallel to BC. That means the third side. So next is the construction part. What we have to do in construction? Produce EF to a point D. That means we have to extend. We have to produce EF. So here I am extending the line EF to a point D. So like that you have to extend so that the line CD, okay, this line segment CD should be parallel to BA. Okay, so this is our construction. Next, let us start the proof. See the proof. In proof, I am taking two triangles. The two triangles are triangle AEF and triangle CDF. So in this two triangle, you can see here, as already by construction, we have written CD is parallel to BA. Therefore, there are some alternate angles. Okay, so the first pair of alternate angles is angle EAF, that means this angle is equal to angle DCF, that means this angle. Okay, so the next one is AF is equal to CF, because already it is given that F is the midpoint of AC. Therefore, we can say that AF is equal to CF. Next is angle AFE, that means this angle is equal to this angle. They are vertically opposite angle. Angle AFE is equal to angle CFD. Okay, so by angle side angle congruence, we can say that the two triangles are congruent. Okay, so by CPCT we can write EF is equal to DF, that means this side will be equal to this, and next one is AE is equal to DC. So this is AE, this is DC. So these two sides are also equal. But see, in given already it is written that E is the midpoint of AB. Therefore, we can write AE is equal to EB. But from CPCT we got AE is equal to DC also. So that means these three are same or equal. Okay. So here I have written AE is equal to DC is equal to EB. So now you can see we got EB is also equal to DC. Okay. So and also by construction we know that DC is also parallel to this side. Side is also what? Parallel and equal. And you can see here this BCDE. This is a quadrilateral. So what will happen if in a quadrilateral one pair of opposite sides are equal and parallel? Then they will become a parallelogram. Okay, so EBCD is a parallelogram. Okay, you can write the reason there. One theorem we have already studied in the last lecture, that if one pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal, then the quadrilateral will become a parallelogram. Okay, next we can also write, this is a parallelogram, therefore we can write the other pair of opposite sides are also equal and parallel. So ED is equal to BC and also they are equal. From CPCT we came to know that EF is equal to FD. That means EF should be half of what? ED. So immediately I can write EF is equal to half of what? ED. And what is our ED? ED we can also write equal to BC. So here the proof ends. So into proof we have written that we have to prove that EF should be parallel to BC. So we have already written ED is parallel to BC. If we write EF is also coinciding in that line only. So we can write, so EF is parallel to BC. This implies EF is parallel to BC. and comma EF is half of this, and this we can write EF is equal to half of BC. So hence proved. So this is the midpoint theorem. So you must know what we have to write in given to prove, and for most important part is construction. You must know what we have to write in construction. So from construction many points we have written in proof, and by using that only we are proving this theorem. Okay, so practice this theorem. Next we will start the next exercise 8.